Because ultimately, part of what you're saying in terms of your qualities to stand out and differentiate and make yourself attractive, and you're right about closing. I mean, the enlightened advisor does not close anybody. They get closed.
Right.
Prospective clients say, "Hey, Isaac, would you bring me on as a client? Would you just accept me? I just want to work with you."
Right.
Right? They're trying to talk you into it. So that's the essence of attracting, not chasing. But I'm curious, when you're sitting down with a client for a strategy and tactical meeting to just basically invest the past into the future and future pace, um, what's some of the language you use, and how do you position that with your clients to get them bought into the trajectory of where your value is going?
Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy is a huge conversation that we have, and just finding purpose in what their wealth entails. I mean, investing obviously is an extremely important component of what we do, but without purpose, without it sounds really cliche, but I think you actually have to execute and articulate what your goals
Mhm.
and purpose is with your wealth. Um, you can't talk cash flow without goals and purpose. You can't talk investing or asset allocation or account allocate. I mean, none of that matters if you don't have the foundation in place. And I was talking to a developer the other day, a tech developer, and we were explaining how uh, it's like it's like building a. Imagine you built a skyscraper with stairs, and then at the end of the completion, you say, you know what? I changed my mind. I want an elevator. Well, you just did all this stuff, spent all this money. You built this building with the huge staircase, and now you want to change your mind, and you didn't talk about
Mm.
the elevator at the starting point. And what a lot of people do is they'll just invest and they'll just make decisions with no articulation or thought process on the foundation of what they want to do in the first place. And so um that's really where a lot of our conversations start. And that's the crux of it. Number two is a lot of this stuff is vague and there's a lot of gray area, but legacy, family, governance, and again, families have issues no matter how much money you have. I mean, I know people with not a lot of money. There's tons of governance issues.
Mhm.
Trust me. That so the governance never goes away. It just changes with the level of wealth that you have, but you have to talk family, you have to talk legacy, you have to talk members, whether it's a spouse or a partner. And that really drives a lot of the conversation and decisions that we make as a firm.
Well, and from a trust perspective, because you're forthright, transparent, and not afraid to go there with the tough love, I'm sure your scenario planning and future pacing is very, very concise because your clients understand the fluid and dynamic nature, and they start to really appreciate the fact that there's value adds as part of your process that they really value because there's things that they haven't necessarily considered, or there's
Correct.
cans they've kicked down the road that you're basically holding them accountable on. So that's very, very powerful. And you're right. I mean, legacy, back to the sentimentality, look at my backdrop, right? It's Northern Lights, and
Sure.
with everything going on with these solar storms and so on. I mean, it's being true north, like being the
Right.
beacon for your clients, is so key in helping them tune out the noise and focus on that direction,
Definitely. I
is powerful.
The second point to that your last question is I think is really important is becoming an extension of the client and their family. And what I mean by that is we're not just the first call, but we're a sounding board for everything.
Mhm.
I mean, if you need an LSAT tutor for your daughter to go to law school because her LSAT scores aren't what they want it to be, we can help you with that. Right. And if you're just the investment team or the woman or the guy, you limit yourself to what I think you're truly supposed to be there for. And when you become an extension of a family, um, you get really ingrained with the rest of the family members and you're able to be you can offer value in different ways than a lot of people in your seat. I'll put it that way. And so I think that's what we really try to get across to clients when we sit down.